someone's gonna recognize that song or be able to identify it. Welcome back to Babbling Brook. It's your host, Babalwa Brook. A quick episode release from me before we start our day. By we, I mean I. This one is going to be a roundup about life in the desert, dealing with unusual stuff that I'm not accustomed to, such as bugs galore, and how I handled that, etc. Renovation update, because at the time I was doing renovations myself in the house that I had recently acquired at the time. I talk about lethargy or fatigue that I was experiencing at the time, and some of the things that I was suspecting could have been the cause is, amongst which, iron. And I talk about my history with anemia and the things that you can eat. I have to quickly tell you that I am not a doctor, so take everything that I say with a pinch of iron. Just kidding. With vitamin C. No, it's another dead joke. You'll get why I'm making this vitamin C joke when you listen to the episode. It's regarding iron. And also the connection between these things to PMS/PMDD, meaning premenstrual syndrome / premenstrual dysphoric disorder, which is a much more intense version of premenstrual syndrome. I'd like to hear back from you, especially those who either suspect that they may have PMDD or were diagnosed of it. I really am curious because it does tend to boggle the mind. Reach out to us on social media. My personal socials are at Babalwa Brook. Babbling Brook Podcast is our Facebook group as well as Instagram. Thank you and enjoy. Looking forward to hearing back from you. Toodles! Ladies and gentlemen, it's 14:08, which is 2:08 in the afternoon on April 27th. Happy Freedom's Day in South Africa. It's a Wednesday. I'm not in South Africa, but I'm from there. Hence the obvious accent. Well, I have an obvious accent, but it's not obvious where the accent's from, apparently, judging by all the people who ask me if I'm from the Caribbean. I get that more than I get Nigeria, but I do get, Africa as well. I get excited when somebody thinks that I'm from Nigeria because they're closer to where I'm from, Nigeria being in West Africa and South Africa being, at the risk of sounding obvious, Southern Africa. Definitely closer than the Caribbean. Ladies and gents, I thought we were done with the PMS series, but I just had a conversation with my sister. Actually, I'm in the middle of having that conversation with her now. So I thought, let me do a quick thingamajig, because I'm sitting on this, I don't want to say godforsaken, because I love this couch. I'm sitting on this recliner right now, and there's nothing that I've been wanting more than to get up off this couch and be productive. I have a list of things to do today, and like I said, it's 2 p.m, therefore, it's almost Chahile time. Chahile means the end of, it's like when it's time to go home after work. I was going to say knock off. That's what we say back in South Africa. There are a lot of, there's a bug. Why do I have bugs inside the house? Bugs I've never seen in my life before, by the way. It flies. What the hell? What is this? I bought the gallon machine thing, and I sprayed all around the house more than twice. It's called Home Defender. It's supposed to be a barrier between the house and bugs. Why do I keep seeing bugs inside the house? I spray that not only outside, I spray it against the walls, on the walls outside, inside, on the floors, more than once inside and more than twice outside. I shouldn't be seeing bugs from whence I sit. All right, enough with that rant. It's day 2 of my periods, right? Not that, this is important to anybody. But we just, the last episode, I think it was the last episode, was about so many things are coming to my mind right now. Welcome to another episode of whatever we're going to call this podcast. My name is Babalo Brook. You can find me on social media at Babalo Brook. And I hope you have subscribed. If you haven't, that you will at the end of this. Now, without boring you half to death, I didn't I thought that we were done with this PMDD series, but it's only day 2 of my period, not only because usually they last about a few days. So I'm sitting on this couch. The only thing that I've done today was to go and pick up some produce for the household. And I did, and I washed the potatoes, and I got some blood oranges in the process, and I did a little video on that. I will have posted it somewhere. I did a short clip for my TikTok, so check that out at Babala Brook. And let me know what you think. I will not spoil it for you, but I did like a long version with more details for my YouTube. You can check that out as well on Babala Brook. I was going to say babalabrook.com, which is a real website, but everything is Babala Brook. Now, after that, I just tidied up, did the dishes and the basic stuff that I do before I actually work, like do some work. I did finish what I was doing yesterday next door, which is not that much, but I did finish it because I think I came in and I did an episode update over here. Due to the fact that I was not feeling well, I felt like I was going to pass out. And I'm totally taking off this freaking bra right now. It's too big, right? So because it's too big, I have to make it tight so that it lifts the breasts up. My boobs are not meant for sports bras. They never have been. So now that I've lost more than 120 whatever pounds, you still have the outside of a big breast, but the inside of a small breast. So you want something that's really going to hoist them all the way up. Sorry for this random TMI. But a sports bra ain't it. Because it's just like you have to make it super tight around the shoulders because you want to pull all the way up because the bra is big and because it's a sports bra. So it's not like, underwire, shapely type deal. And now it hurts on my shoulders because I made it so tight. Also, it's just like I wanted to do like a booby clip for, I think it was for TikTok. Just trying to fit in. I'm trying to look sexy for y'all. So I hope you'll give me a follow on there. I just created my profile yesterday. So yeah, I mentioned that I felt, woozy, whatever the word is, yesterday. Today, I just didn't have energy. I didn't sleep. The last couple of nights, I haven't been sleeping through the night. I wake up around 1 and being awake. And instead of going back to sleep, there's a habit that I picked up from when I was renting a room somewhere before I moved to this house. The guy in the next room, he was so loud and he was talking 24/7 on like videos. So whenever I would wake up to just use the restroom, I wouldn't be able to, it'd be hard for me to go back to sleep because he's talking so loud in the next room. I can hear, I'm not just hearing him talk, I'm hearing the conversation, flirting, and all kinds of things that just like, it's hard to ignore. So I'm not somebody who likes I like complete silence when I'm asleep, even though I'm able to fall asleep no matter the noise. But once I'm asleep, and it's hard to go back to sleep. You know what I mean? And so I started listening to podcasts even at night. And there's this one guy whose content, he has so much content on the internet. I started almost around June last year, to listen to his podcast. He had a TV show. He had so much stuff. He's dead now. May his soul rest in peace. And I'm still finding stuff of his, but he does tend to repeat himself a lot. Like he'll literally do like an almost 2-hour episode just talking about the same things we talked about in the last 5 episodes. So, but something about him is just so odd and entertaining to me, and it makes me LOL. So it's easy to play his stuff because my brain is not going to feel like I have to pay attention to what he's saying, because I know it's something he said before already and something he's going to say again. So I would play his podcasts and try to make his volume louder than I'm hearing the next guy, to like drown the guy next door out, his voice out. Don't call 911 on me and tell them I'm drowning people. So that was a habit that I got into. So moving here to this house, I was like, ooh, it's just me here. What if, I don't know, people are just like, hey, there's a woman there who lives by herself, even though I have equipment to take care of myself, so I don't even try. But I would just like continue that habit of playing those podcasts, and I don't want to get too much into that, even though I kind of recommend it if you live by yourself and you don't want to be an easy target. But now, the secret's out. Sorry, cracking my knuckles. Apparently it's a bad habit. I don't think so, because it feels nice. Don't all bad habits. I was like, okay, it's hot. I've been outside already today. Also went to the library and I returned some of their DVDs. I just keep rescheduling them for renewing them. Long story short, back to the main point. I digress a lot. Talked to my sisters. I checked in on her, how are things in Cape Town. Oh my God, I feel like someone is sitting on my shoulders right now. So I don't know if I was suspecting when I was feeling tired yesterday while I was working next door that maybe it's also due to the fact that I haven't had enough sleep, right? And also I put myself on that liquid diet yesterday that was mainly carbs, only carbs. So I was like, maybe the carbs are making me tired. I'm crashing from the sugar. And also the fact that I didn't sleep nicely the night before. I was up for 3 hours from 1 until 4. So today the same thing happened. So I was like, ooh, you're so angry. If you watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, that's an inside joke. I, as a result, didn't drink tea like I normally do. I bought, not today, but recently, decaffeinated tea from Walmart. I don't know if it does really work. Normally, tea doesn't keep me awake because I drink 2 to 4 tea bags all day. So I was like, let me not even risk it and drink black tea today. That's not decaf. So I made decaf tea, which I've yet to drink. I'm saying all of this to say I'm trying to make sure that I'm going to sleep tonight, and hopefully I'm going to be more energized tomorrow and not feel like as shit like I do. Talking to my sister, we're checking up on each other, and she's like, how's the house renovation going? How's this? How's that? And I was like, I'm not as productive as I would like to be. I feel like I need to have more energy. And she says, have you checked your iron levels? And that's what brings us here, ladies and gents. I, of all people, should know this. It's so funny. Anyway, maybe it's not. Iron levels is one of the side effects of periods. Period. Makes sense, right? Iron levels is the red blood cell situation of your blood. So funny because we talked about blood oranges at some point early on. So that's one of the side effects. I did mention lethargy or lethargicness, being lethargic and fatigued in one of the episodes. I was talking about PMS. But yeah, that's one of the side effects. I take continuously iron pills. It's best if you take them. There are certain ones that will make you constipated. There are ones that are, this is a whole other conversation that we totally can have. I'm not going to have today because I just feel like shutting my eyes. As I recline the recliner. So that's another thing. It's not just tiredness, but it's low blood. If you're somebody, for me, my blood iron levels, I think that I said that's redundant, are usually when I go to the doctors, like back in the day when I've gone, when I was younger, they would be right on the brink. I'm forgetting what their numbers are because I don't do research before I come and record here. They would be right on the brink, right? Like if it's supposed to be 11, mine would be like 5, which I think those are more or less the numbers. And once I'm PMSing, obviously they're gonna be low because they were borderline low anyway. So I do tether. I've never used that word and I don't think I'm using it right. But I am more on the low side of iron, period, as a person. And oh my God, I just feel like closing my eyes right now, this second. I feel like someone is pushing me down my shoulders and pulling my arms down. Maybe I should have eaten that blood orange. You'll see in the video. So the low blood levels. No, that's not what it is. That's something else. High blood pressure, low blood pressure. It's totally something else. We're talking about iron levels. That would be one of the side effects of PMS for a lot of people, naturally, like I've explained. And when I talked to my sister today and I said, I wish I had more energy, I said, I do push myself, but I take breaks in between. And she said, oh my gosh, your iron levels are definitely low. Like, duh, right? And my family does suffer from that. Just about all my sisters have at one stage or another had to take iron pills. When I was younger, would stop because they would make me constipated. We won't go into that again. We already had a whole episode of poop. So, and then I found better ones here in the U.S. Recommended by a doctor and the internet. So then I wouldn't have that problem, thank gosh. So I'm constantly taking iron pills every day. So don't expect it to be a thing that I will suffer from. I think it's like not in the forefront of the back of my mind. Just kidding. So I guess something happened this time and that's what's going on, folks. Because today as well, like I have to do something. I'm not even motivated to find the light and take photos and list my stuff on the marketplace. Luckily, there's a lot of work for me to do online as well. So if I don't have energy to do things physical, I do have other things that when I'm sitting, I can do them. So my time's not completely wasted. I don't like go to bed. Like I'm sitting on the recliner now. I don't want to like completely succumb to my illnesses and die in bed. Bed is like the last resort. I'll sit on a chair and do something or this, that, or the other. But I would much rather, go next door, take measurements of the window so I can wake up early tomorrow and go buy supplies for the house, patch the holes, paint the house, feel like I'm getting somewhere, list the house, find, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, I wanted to just add that is one of the things if you find yourself feeling the way that I do. Even though I don't feel like depressed anymore or like shitty like that, this is depressing at the risk of using the same word. But yeah, it's not a wonderful feeling. I don't feel depressed, but I feel like somebody who's not able to get up and walk. Therefore, I have all my wits about me and my whatevers. But what's the point? I don't want to use like disabled as a word because I'm not making fun of the seriousness of that situation. But I'm just like, my gosh, can I please do more than I have done? Let me go and water my plants and look at like life. There are foods that you can eat that are, the darker the food, usually the more iron. Things such as, maybe I'll cook the spinach that I got today and eat it for dinner. Things like like red meat. They usually have more iron, like probably because of, red. And spinach, probably beans, maybe nuts. A lot of things I think that have like protein. I'm not sure of the protein part, but there are vegetables and other things that you can eat that are high in protein. In iron. I do recommend, we're going back to the orange thing again. I do recommend that when you take if you do decide to take your iron pills, first of all, take one that's going to be easier for the body to absorb, because it's pointless buying something that's like a clickbait that's supposed to be iron, but the body is not really going to find it easy to absorb it, so therefore it's not absorbing it, and now we're peeing all of this out. Like, what's the point? I just spent $5 for this, for what? So when you do take your iron pills, I recommend that you also take, or what are the orange vitamins? Maybe take it with orange juice, but I was going to say take vitamin C with them. Apparently the vitamin C helps the body to easier absorb the iron. You'll do your own research as well. I'm just giving you the basics and the guides just to, and hopefully the ding, 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 aha, to make sense of a lot of questions that you may have had over the years, and you're like, oh my God, this all makes sense now, because I didn't have that. So I would like to be that for someone else. All right. I didn't take any pain pills, or I didn't have a headache. My gum doesn't hurt. I wanted to add that the saliva glands, not the tonsils in the back, but more in the front, that swelling that you get under the jaw, but like not by the tonsils. The saliva glands, apparently, because one of them was swollen on me, and it was swollen so much that I could see it in the mirror. Like if I'm looking in the mirror, I could see one side was more puffed than the other. So I was like, wow, this is serious. I wondered if it was due to my gum. When you have pain somewhere and then you have that vein, that gland that swells somewhere else. I forget what that situation is called. I don't want to get into that now. This is not really a health vlog or whatever. It's just about general life, but I will talk about whatever, which includes health. And when I was looking up all of that, I found out that not only do you get the canker sores, the gingivitis, and the other stuff in your mouth, also there's a possibility that your salivary glands may swell as a result of the PMS situation. This part, don't quote me on, because I only found out yesterday about it, and it's not something that I've been researching over time. But I have noticed recently, like as recent as this year, that that's a new thing. So there was a phase in my life where I would have canker sores. There was a phase in my life where I would have the gingivitis. There's now a new phase where we've moved on to, I guess, the salivary glands. Welcome to womanhood. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. And I hope that you're learning, and if you're not being entertained, you're being woked by these. And I do appreciate all the 5-star reviews. Thank you very much in advance and in arrears. I will talk to you next time. Let me go ahead and be productive. Love you. Mean it. At Baba Lobrok on all social media.